All right. Well, we've got about 12 minutes left in our boil, but as a result, we need to sanitize the chiller. Now, the way that we do that is it's a counterflow chiller. We're actually going to hook it up to the pump while the water is still boiling, or while the wort is still boiling, and just pump hot wort through it for about 10 minutes. It's going to superheat everything inside there and get rid of any of the nasties that might be in there for us, all while it's still boiling. So I'm going to set that up, and you'll see us kind of go through that. So to start off, we've got enough distance between the level of our boiling wort and the top that I'm not concerned about a boilover at this point. So I'm actually going to put the lid back on. So the lid is actually a critical piece here for using our counterflow chiller. And the counterflow chiller, if you remember, is this contraption. And what's great about it is it actually fits directly on top of the glass lid, and that's really what the port's actually designed for. So there's a couple different things here. We don't need these red and blue cords yet. They're just gonna kind of sit there, or hoses rather, because those are actually for pumping our cold water and then our hot effluent or hot water, wastewater back through it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to feed this down through the top here. So as I feed this down through the top, back into the wort, there we go. We're just going to get that whole thing in there, right down in the hot boiling wort. And then much the same as when we attached our overflow or our recirculation pipe, this is the same way. It's got the same little protrusion on it right down here. We've got to make sure that that contacts our ball down here, our ball bearing. So we're just going to push down on that, and while we're pushing down it, we're just going to go ahead and engage the threads, and we're just going to get that finger tight. Now I'm going to go ahead and open that ball valve back again, and I'm just going to go right here and I'm just going to turn on my pump. And what I'm watching for is obviously I have wort going in here, so I'm just watching for it to come out here and make sure that there's no blockages, clogs, or kind of an air bubble trapped in there. And here it comes. And that's just going to get some steam there, so we've got to be careful. Alright, so that's just going to circulate for about 10 minutes, and at the end of the boil we'll just take it off, we're going to set it aside, we'll let as much of the wort drain out of there as we can. And since it's a closed system, it's relatively going to be, there's not a lot of oxygen contact or anything, so even though there's a little bit of wort that's going to be left in the pipe, when we go to cool it, we're not totally worried about that. We're still going to circulate it back in for a minute or two, back into the rest of the wort before we start pumping it into the fermenter. But we just want to get that down in there. The steam from the boiling water is going to sterilize everything in it, and then the actual boiling wort is going to go through these silicone tubes. These do get hot. Just be careful, be cognizant, those are hot. This is not, these are. All right, we'll see you guys in a bit.